Hello all. Good evening, guys. Chandni ma'am, are you there? Hello, ma'am. Okay. So, guys, can you hear me? Let me in the chat box. To start the session today. Today's session we start the JavaScript. Hello, guys. Can you hear me? Okay. So, are you facing any difficulty in the yesterday assignment? So, let me know in that chat box if you facing any difficulty in that CSS or any like in the assignment. Okay, so let's start today's session. Is the we have to discuss like what are the like JavaScript, what is JavaScript, and why we need to like using JavaScript in our DOM manipulation or any like why you are using like in the HTML in the dynamic starting to dynamic. How can you convert that like any pages? Okay, so let's start. So guys, can you see my screen now? Let me in the chat box. Anyone? Please respond. Can you see my screen? Okay. So we have discussed JavaScript. So guys, JavaScript. What is JavaScript? JavaScript is a open source and cross-platform language that supported functional and imperative and structural and object-oriented programming language. Okay. So what is JavaScript? JavaScript is a open source cross-platform language that support functional and structural and imperative and object-oriented programming language. Okay. So first one is what is like JavaScript. Okay. JavaScript is a open source cross-platform that supported functional, imperative, and structural, structural and OOP. OOP means it's object-oriented programming language. Okay, object-oriented programming. Okay, guys. So guys, sorry for that today. We have so many late. There's 30 minutes late because of that due to technical issue. So definition of the JavaScript, what is JavaScript mean? It is a open source cross platform that supported functional, imperative, and structural and object oriented programming language. But in means of that object oriented programming language means couple of like object oriented features supported only JavaScript, not all that like feature supported JavaScript. Okay. Next one is JavaScript is a lightweight, interpreted, or just in compiled programming language. So JavaScript is lightweight, interpreted, or just in compiled programming language. Okay. So what do you mean interpreter? Interpreter is responsible for like line by line translator. When you are writing any code in that like Visual Studio or any other like items or any so in that situation it will responsible. Interpreter is responsible for like one by one or line by line translator doing that like interpreter. Okay. So when it interact with the browser. Okay. So next one is compile. compile is like usable in like database or any like server side programming language. You are using we are using compile. Okay, interpreter means line by line translator, and compile basically used in the server side or in database. Okay, so what do you mean just in programming language? Okay, just in compile programming language means it's the indicator that load, compile, and process the request. Okay, whatever request will be sent to the client to server, it will be loaded at first and compiled, and after that proceed the request. Okay, guys. So JavaScript basically uses in that JavaScript use in HTML, like client side in HTML, client side in HTML, and server side in Node.js, and database in MongoDB. Okay, MongoDB, it's MongoDB. Okay, guys. So next one is that in animation, it's with wait, it's client side with HTML and server side with Node.js, and like database with MongoDB, and animation with class. Okay, animation with class. Okay, so JavaScript basically uses in that like etc. More than it can be used in many of the programming languages. Okay, basically in that full stack developer, like in client side we have using the HTML and JavaScript, but in the server side also in the Node.js it also uses like JavaScript, and database also using like MongoDB uses like JavaScript. In animation with the class like we are using JavaScript. Okay, guys. So next one is with like designing that JavaScript, and what are the like in the previous state, what are the name of that, we have to discuss that one. Okay, I hope you understand like what is JavaScript and where that JavaScript usable like client side, server side, and database and animation. Okay, I hope you understand. So let's see who is like designing that JavaScript, and what are the name of before on that before the JavaScript, what are the name of JavaScript, we have to discuss. Okay, so in that we have discussed, it's like Brendan Brendan Each Brendan Each in 1994 designing for Netscape navigation by name is Mocha, by its name of Mocha. Okay, so by name of the Mocha in 1994, Brendan is designing a JavaScript. It's not before the JavaScript. Its name is Mocha. Okay, so working for like Netscape Navigator, okay. Netscape Communication. Sorry, Netscape Communication. Okay, so Brendan is 1994 like in the Netscape Navigation designing a Mocha. It's a JavaScript. Okay, later it name it's like type LiveScript. Later its name is LiveScript. Okay, LiveScript. Okay, so after in that we are calling that one is JavaScript. Okay, JavaScript. So at first, Brandon is in designing 1994 with the for which organization he is designing for Netscape Communication, designing for like a JavaScript. His previous name is Mocha. After its name is LiveScript. Okay, so and after we calling it as JavaScript, and JavaScript is by designing by Sun Microsystem. It's Sun Microsystem. Okay, and out in that. Okay, so JavaScript is a JavaScript follow ECMS script, ECMS standard. Okay, ECMS standard. So what do you mean by ECMA? So the ECMA means ECMA. Okay, ECMA. Okay, so it stands for European Computer Manufacturers, Manufacturers Association. Okay, association. Okay, so ECMA stands for European Computer Manufacturers Association. Okay, so JavaScript always follow the ECMA standard. You know that many of the programming language call, like many of the developer call it like ECMA, EC6 or EC5, ES5 or ES 543, anyone. Okay, so this one means EC means nothing but it is a standard of the JavaScript. So always you have to remember that one. It's a ECMA means also JavaScript. Okay, EC6 means ECMA is a like version of 6, version of 5. Okay, so JavaScript latest version is ECES8. In 2018, it's like a version release is ES8, and in 2020 is the like a draft mode will be like released and not released till it's draft mode. In the draft mode is there. Okay, so this one is the current version, like latest version ES8, and in 2020 in the 20 ES like ES20 is like anyone is in draft mode, is like not released still. Okay, so next one is, so that in the draft mode, like ECMA 2020 draft mode, it is ECMA ES 2020 is maintaining by W3C, and it's what WG. Okay, what WG. So next question is, what do you know W3C and what WG? Okay, you know already, maybe you know that what do you mean, what are the like full form of that, or it's like World Wide Web Consortium. Okay, it's the, and another one is what WHAT WG. Okay, what is the full form that, like its name is web hypertext application technology working group. Okay, so W3C and what WG, both are maintaining that one, like ES 2020. Okay, the current version is ES8. Okay, so in that, like any of that introduction, like what do you mean by what is like JavaScript, and where we are using like in JavaScript, and who is designing that JavaScript, and which company before Mocha is the Netscape communication desk designing that one, and after that Sun Microsystem is JavaScript, and any of that, any doubt in that, guys? So you can ask me on that. ECM, you know that already, ECM and W3C and what WG, what are the like meaning of that, and what are the definition of that, and these are the organization that maintain like CSS 2020, and ECM is the standard of the JavaScript. Any of the doubt, guys, in that? I hope you understand introduction of that JavaScript. Any doubt? Guys, are you there? Are you in the meeting or in the outside of the meeting? Okay, Anand. What about the other? Like 20 people is there in the meeting, but one will be reply on that. Okay. What about other? Any doubt in the JavaScript in that, like designing and definition? Any doubt is there? You can ask me. Don't worry about that. Okay. So let's just start other one. Go forward that other. Okay. So next one is why we need use JavaScript with HTML for web development. Okay. So why we need JavaScript with HTML in web development? Because JavaScript reduce burden of the server. JavaScript reduce the burden of the server by managing interaction and client side with client side. So JavaScript with client side, maintain the client side and reduce the burden of that. So that's why we are using JavaScript or web development HTML. So oh, basically it is JavaScript is used to manipulation the HTML DOM. Okay, basically JavaScript uses in the manipulate to the HTML DOM. So it's manipulate. JavaScript uses used to manipulate HTML DOM. Okay, it's HTML DOM. HTML DOM. So next question is what is DOM? DOM means it's data object model. Data object model. Sorry, document object model. It's not data. It's document object model. Object model. So document object model. So what do you mean document object model is? It means you already observed that way in that HTML you mention doc type. It's DOC type. Okay, doc type. It's mean it's a data object model. It's a document type. So in the document type, type, we are accessing that one and using that convert the static web page to dynamic web page by using that JavaScript. Okay, guys. So JavaScript use manipulate the HTML DOM. So what are the work done by the JavaScript in the DOM manipulation? In that DOM manipulation, what are the work done by the JavaScript in the HTML? It's adding the element into the page, like any of the element, like P is element or H1 is element, any of the element. I want to add something by the using of the JavaScript. Using JavaScript, you can do that by adding in that in the document model DOM. In the HTML DOM, you can adding the or inserting a element in that or removing an element in that or modifying data into that. If imagine that in the H1 is writing mode is there, so I want to adding something or modify something content in between that, so we can do that by using the JavaScript. Okay, and we can do that in that paragraph. I want to in the below of that paragraph I want to using a div in the element in between that P and H1, so I can do that using that JavaScript. Okay, do manipulation using JavaScript. Okay, so managing validation from data element. So validation, what do you mean a validation? Validation means it's like a you know that already in the form we have validation any of the name is in between that 8 to 10 character, or any password between password is must be capital letter starting from a capital letter, and it's contain special character or any number it contain. It's a validation. When you submit that one, it goes to the server. Okay, it's a validation. So in that we have to doing that one by using the JavaScript is DOM manipulation. Okay, it's a DOM manipulation. DOM manipulation. So we are doing that one in adding element is adding element into page. Okay. removing 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 element in the page into page. And next one we have modify data in element. You know that already. What do you mean element? Is a p is element, or paragraph is element. P is a tag, paragraph is element, and header is element. That's an element out there. Okay. So in that, in between that, whatever content are there, I can change that one. Okay. So next one is managing validation or data in element. Those data present in between that element, I want to validation that one by using that DOM manipulation, or in JavaScript using that JavaScript, I access from the DOM manipulation, I can do that. Okay. So next one is, what are the issue of the JavaScript? Means as a demerit. You know that demerit. What are the demerit we are facing in the JavaScript? Basically, in we have in JavaScript, the issue are there. So I have to describe that one also. Before that, I have to mention that. Okay. So next one I have to mention that one. It's better to like remember. Next, another. Okay. So next one we have to discuss what are the issue in JavaScript or demerit using JavaScript in that. So we have, I have saved that one at first. It's intro. Okay. I have to create next one new. Okay. So in that we have to discuss what are the like issue as there. Okay. JavaScript issue in JavaScript. Issue with JavaScript. Issue with JavaScript. Okay. So first issue is like browser compatibility issue. Browser issue. Okay. So next one we have security issue. It's memory leak or something. Memory leak. Okay. So next one we have like a lot of DOM manipulation. Means lot of DOM manipulation means, you know that DOM manipulation, I already described that one, like adding element, removing an element, and like modifying element or validation. That are the DOM manipulation out there. Okay. And next one we have data binding issue. Okay. So next one we have, it's not support all the feature. It not supports or supported all the feature, all the O feature. Okay. O features. Okay. O feature means object oriented programming language. Okay. Like in the interview, HR will ask you what do you mean JavaScript, what is JavaScript. So many of the like interview like student or any told that like the JavaScript is object oriented programming language, but it means like it's not a object oriented programming language. It supported some feature like more than two is feature like supported the JavaScript, but all feature not supported. So that's why we cannot told that JavaScript is a object oriented programming language. Okay. So next one we have sixth one is not a strict type, strongly type or strict type. Strongly type, not a strongly type language. So browser compatibility issue and security memory leak and lot of DOM manipulation, data binding issue, and it's not supported all the feature of features like object oriented programming features. Not a strongly type language. It's not a strong type language means you know that already in if you learn the programming C++, Java, or any of the like Python, you know that always you have to define with a variable to assigning a value to the any variable. Before that you are using var, a let, or constant in that. So I will give the example of that. So in that, if we are not using like var let or any constant, that's it works because it's not a strong type language. That's why I'm showing that one by that practical also. Don't worry about that. So have you understand the issue of that JavaScript or the issue are there? So any of that doubt you can ask me on that. Okay. So next one we have to discuss JavaScript use HTML page in three methods. Like in the CSS, you know that the inline, embedded, and CSS is there. So you can link that one. So in JavaScript, basically we are using three methods. It's like inline, embedded, and external file. It's inline. Next one is embedded, and third one is external file. External file. So let's start that. How can you define a script file, JavaScript in that inline? So let's start. So I have to create one folder in that. Okay. Create a folder in between that. Oh, sorry, it's not. I'll create a folder in that. Okay. So it's like JS. Okay. In that folder, I have to create a file in that. I have to create like demo.js. Okay. This one is a JavaScript file. Okay. So this is the external file. I'm not using that one, but I have to create before on that. So let's see. In that flex, we have okay. In the form also we have there something. Form list are there. Okay. In the list, I have to create it. Okay. In the list, there's an error are there. Okay. In that, I have to remove that one. Okay. No error. Now I have to close the terminal at first, and let's see. I have to create a button in that button. In between the button, I have to return something inline JavaScript. Okay. So on link is a event. I have to all the event I will store in that button. Okay. In between that, I have called window.print. Okay. Let's see. It's open live server. Okay. So it's open now or not? Open in live server again. Yeah, it's open now. Okay, in between that I have something written in the button, so it will be display better. In the button I have to give a print. Okay, I want to print the pages. Or it's working now. Okay, so have you seen that one? This is a JavaScript. In between that, I have written in that onClick is a event. In that, I have to written an object in that. It's a Windows object in between the print method. I want to print the pages, whatever seen in that browser of that web page. Okay. So in that, I want to press that print that pages. So in the when I click that print button, it will be print the pages. Okay. It's now print the pages. Okay, guys. Okay, so this one is the, so we can do that by using inline. So we can do that using also in embedded. So how can you do that? I will show you that one also. It's like print text is a function. I want to create a script in between that script. In that we have written that name type. It's like text by CS, sorry, JavaScript. Okay, so this script file describe that we are using JavaScript in between that. Okay, so I have written a function in between that. So we don't have like parameter in that. I have the name of the function is, my name of the function is print page. Okay, print page of my function in between that. So in between that function I have written like Windows dot print. Okay, so let's see it's working or not. It's not working. Why? Let's see. Print page function. Okay, print page Windows does print. Okay, in between. So let's see now. It's working or not. It's working now. Okay. So this one is the embedded. So in between the head part, you can do that. Okay. This is the embedded. Embedded. Next one is external file. So how can you link that external file? You can see that one also. Okay, it's working now. So next one is like embedded. So we remove that one. In that we have JS file. So I have written function is like print page. Okay, so in we have window dot print. Okay, so let's see that one also. It's not working because I have to not link the file in HTML. That's why not working. Let's see. It's not working. I've clicked that one, but it's not working. I have to zoom that one. Okay, it's not working. Okay, at first I have linked the page in between that, so it's skipped. In that we have type. My type is text by JavaScript. Okay, so we are linked that pages is src is dot dot slash js demo dot js. It's working now. Let's see. It's working now. Okay, this one is the external file. So how can you link that external file? We can do that also by using embedded. So the important point is that where we can use the script file. So in between like head part you can use that one, in body part you can use that one, in external of that like html you can use that, but in in that always in developer we are using the head part, but sometimes we are using body part. I already told you that in JAS in css where we are using like a head part, any of the file in the head part like script or css file. When I want to load the pages with the at first I want to load the memory, that file I want to load the memory, that after that I want to load that pages of the pages, that time I want to use in the head section, but in the body section I want to use like in the script file where I want to load that file when page will be loaded. Okay, when page will be loaded, it's I want to load that one, so that's time I want to use in body section, and in that head section I want, if I want to at first I want to, after loading the page I want to add at first I want to adding that in a memory. After that I want to load the file into the pages. That's time I want to put that script file in that head part. Okay, so next one we have okay, so legacy browser. You already I have told like yesterday session what is legacy browser. So we are discussed like issue of that JavaScript. We have like legacy browser, like browser compatibility issue are there. So how can you clear that legacy browser issue? So legacy browser issue we are clear that one by using in between that, in whole JavaScript coding part, by that it's like comment HTML comment, in between that I want to return that code. Okay, wait, it's not working. Why? Okay, Hmm. Wait, in that we have comment. It's okay, this one is there. So in between that I have to mention that one. In the comment when I mention that whole that coding, so it supported all the browser legacy browser. Okay, it's not something, it's wrong I think. But the issue are, let's see. No issue. Okay, it's not any error as there. Okay, it's working now. Okay, so in between that comment HTML comment, we are mentioning all that JavaScript file. This prevent that legacy browser. Okay, so legacy browser means old browser. It supported the HTML4 or ES4 or modern browser. Two type of browsers that old browser, legacy browser, or modern browser. Legacy browser supported like HTML4 and ES4, but the modern browser also supported HTML5 and ES5 plus. Okay, after ES5 it will be supported. Okay, so next one we have to discuss. So there is the like something some file are there. We are in development, basically in development we are using a file, or in that production time we are using another file. This minification file, minified file. Okay. So what do you mean minified file means? It is a compressed file. Okay. Minified file means it is a compressed file we are using in the develop like production time, but development time we are using on compressed file always. Okay. So minification, I will show you what are the minification are there. So before that, uh, you install Node.js. Okay, I have to show you how to install Node.js. Yeah, use that. JS comment. Yeah, Bamsi Chenakesha. In that JavaScript, we are like these are the comment we can do that by double slash or like comment. Okay, but I have to show you that one in the legacy browser. We have some issue because in that Chrome or Safari and Opera, some element or some like coding part is not supported in the all browser. That's why it's legacy browser issue. We cleared that issue by using that HTML comment. Okay, so the in a whole the coding we have to mention in between the HTML code that will be supported all the browser. It's legacy browser. Okay, this will be complete cleared. That's why I'm showing that one. But we have like different comment option, like HTML comment option, CSS comment option are different, and we have like JavaScript comment option is there. It's different. Okay, I want to don't want to like show that coding part, so I can do that by comment option. But these comment are like not supported in legacy browser, but in HTML comment will be supported legacy browser. It will be show all the like whatever you retain the coding, it will be supported all browser. But in that when we are not using like any of the comment in between the HTML comment in the between that coding part, we are not put into that comment, so it will be facing some issue in that legacy browser. Okay, that's why I'm mentioning that. But we have like other comment option are there. Okay, so before that we have to discuss other part in the tomorrow session, but before we have to install Node.js. Okay, Node.js we are not is the Node.js, but is the npm node package manager is required for some like minified package manager is required. Okay, it's library required, so that's why I'm it need to be installed. So go to the Node.js. Okay, Node.js org organization .org. In between that we have okay, in that we have current version, and like I have to show you, it's a recommended version. Okay, most user it's latest version, but we are using 14.17.1. It's a like it's not still like out. It's latest version is 14.17.1. It's so download that one. Okay, I already download that, so click on that after it's downloaded. Okay, let's see, it's downloaded now, but I don't want to download that. Okay, so download that one. Okay, after that we have what is minified file, I will show you that one also. So let's see what is minified file. In the minified file, it's CSS minified, CSS minifier. In that we have CSS. Okay, in that let's see, it's paragraph, it's border, background. We have multiple like lines are there. So I want to show in that one line. Let's see, in that production time we can do that minified. Without in the development we cannot do that because it's difficult to understand that one. That's why we are not using that one in the minified file. So I will show you minified file. So when I click the minify, it will be minified. So these are the same thing. Okay, but at the using that input CSS, it's a minified file. But have you seen that one? It's like 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 11 20 lines are there. Okay, 29, it's 12 or 13 lines are there, but in that we have 1 2 3 4. Okay, so its memory location will be some decrease. Okay, so that's why in the development, sorry, not development, there's the production time we are using minified file. Okay, so one like other in that using that node package manager, we can do that by installing a library. As another library is there, so you can do that by using the library. So at first, before that, ensure that you are using install that node.js. Okay, so tomorrow session we have to discuss how can you do that minified by using terminal or any command. Okay, by using command, how can you do that? Okay, let discuss in that tomorrow session. But before that, any doubt in that, so you can ask me in chat box, as well as in that, unmute yourself and ask me the doubt. Hello guys, any doubt in that, you can ask me. Okay, okay. Other, what about other? Only two are answered, that no doubt. What about other? Bamsi, Keshav, any doubt? Keshav is no doubt. Okay. Bamsi, any doubt in that? Sir, do you need install Node.js? Yes, Soumya, you need to like install Node.js, but we are not is Node.js, but we are using some npm like Node Package Manager. That's why we need to install that Node.js. So before that, we need to install the Node.js. I will show you already, so that how can you install the Node.js. Going to the Node.js official website, go to the official website and download Node.js. So I will show you what are the Node Package Manager, why we are using Node Package Manager in that. Okay, I will show you next session. Okay, show me. Okay, so Chandini ma'am, hello Chandini ma'am, are you there? Okay, no, not there, I think. Sarath, any doubt is there? You, if you any doubt is there, you can ask me. Yeah, Rasmita, at first you download that one and open that one. It will be so clearly, because always in that paint option, whatever you written in that, it's not showing clearly, because at first you download that, it will be clear. Okay, all I already delete that all that document. So if you are not clear, I will show you again. Okay, I will return that again and send you. Okay, at first you download that and check that like it's clear or not. Okay, let me know. After that, I will return again. I will show you, I'll send you. Okay, in that classroom. Okay, okay, Rashmita. Okay, have anyone download that one and open that one? I think anyone download also, not much clear, sir. Okay, so today I will return that one in that document. I will send you. Okay, don't worry. Okay, thank you so much. Have a good day. Bye.